जयपुर वाया कोटा
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
Hyderabad को 50 एक्सप्रेस পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो
Sir, please no tweeting, sir. You are tweeting, I know it, sir.
No, sir.
I know you're tweeting, sir.
No, I'm not. I told you I'm not.
You're Xing, sir. You're Xing.
You are the one with X's. I don't have any X's.
That's also true, sir.
Huh?
Well said. Mic drop. Hello and welcome. You're watching Cricbuzz Live. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me here is my big brother Harsha Bhogle, who's dropping some truth bombs about me. They are to be believed. I want to say that so that you people will go, wait, if he's saying it's the truth, then it must be a lie. Ooh, I'm playing games with you. Well, today I don't want to play too many games because with us, making his debut, one of my favorites, our friend from down under. A big round of applause for Mr. Adam Gilchrist.
Wow. Thank you. Hello. Hello, mate. How are you?
Does this feel more special than your Australia, Punjab and Deccan Chargers debut?
I might be even more nervous because I've been observing the show with a fine-tooth comb, knowing that, and thanks for having me, can I say, start by that, but so I've been watching it a lot more in a lot finer detail, and it's such a slick operation, and the information for the viewers out there is of such high quality. My heart's racing, but we'll see how we go.
You know, this...
I'm feeling like...
It was written for him. He learnt it well. These are all lies. Because if he had seen the show and gone through it with a fine tooth comb, he probably wouldn't have boarded the flight. These are troublesome bubblegums.
I get the feeling. I feel like the bowler running in to bowl to him.
you do, right?
Yeah. He's saying... He's stocked it up so much and he's saying it's nervous. That's what happened to bowlers when they're running in to bowl to him.
Yeah, but don't worry. 5 minutes with me and his standards will come down, so he'll be fine. Right?
You know what he was told?
5 minutes.
You know what he was told when he came in?
What?
He said, I'm looking forward to meeting Gaurav again because I'm told he orders good food.
That's right.
I said he anchors too.
No, I don't. This is what I do when I'm so I'm the F&B manager.
Yeah.
I order the food, then I have nothing to do till it comes, so I come and sit here. It's pretty much that's my add-on, right? This is the chutney on the side of the dosa. That's what it is.
I had heard about your ability on the ordering, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm all right. Hello and welcome to Chutney Live. Of course, we'll be talking about some cricket as well, because contractually I'm forced to, so here goes. It's Lucknow playing Delhi today. They're hosting them at home at the Bharat Ratna Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee Ekana Cricket Stadium, Lucknow.
Correct.
Did you get that right?
Yes, you got it all right.
Put that on a visiting card.
Better you than me, that.
Yeah, what was that? Imagine if we had told you to do that first up.
Yeah, no, that might have seen me walk off set. But, big game, important game, isn't it? But more important for one than the other.
Yes, because there's one team which is in the doldrums, safe to say, when you look at the points table. Harsha, is it safe to say that if they don't win today, it is pretty much bye-bye birdie?
The only reason I won't say that is Deepu will come out with some ridiculous statistical probabilities
Using
to say
calculus or
that
something.
if 6 other results happen, but I mean, with that net run rate, if you go down 1-5, you've got 6 games. In 8 games, you have to win 7 with that net run rate.
Yeah.
So you can't drop a single one anywhere. It's looking very tough.
Yeah.
I think Ricky might want to come here and order some food.
Well, talking of Ricky, I mean, he stated to his team, didn't he, after that second huge loss in a row against Mumbai, they've a 9-game season. They're breaking it down now to a 9-game season.
Yeah.
That's all they got left. And he felt they could drop maybe one. He said, interestingly, we've got to win 8 of those games. And that would get them to, 18 points in the end.
Which guarantees you. 18 would guarantee you. 16 you could get in.
Yeah. So, but as you say, that run rate is...
At the moment,
they've got to win a game. Don't worry about the run rate. Just win a few games first.
At the moment, 16 is as far away from them as my striking ability is to yours.
That's good.
No, actually, they're closer. Yeah, they're closer.
They're just a little... Perhaps they've got a little more of a chance. But for Lucknow, things are looking pretty good because if they win today, they go top of the table because they're just a smidge behind in net run rate. If they win today, that net run rate will improve and they could be up top. I don't think they'll care if they 1 or 2. They just want to get to 8 points. And they kind of this team, Harsha, they're almost a little sneaky, right? They fly below the radar. They're not big, they're not grand, they're not huge. But by that I mean their actions are not that big. They kind of fly below the radar. They make the playoffs every year, and this year as well, they win this game. Suddenly they're in that stratosphere.
They're like the stealth fighters.
Yeah,
just going under. And you look and say, oops, they won 3 out of 4. They're in the top 3. They win today. They're in with a great chance. And it's just happened. They've put up scores and they've defended them well. They've bowled really well. It comes down to what we were talking about RCB yesterday. Yeah. You bowl well, you win more matches. Lucknow have bowled really well. They're going to be batting first again today, I think. So...
Yeah, but the thing with them, I think the bowling, it's a big difference, right, isn't it, Gilly? Because Delhi on the other side, the bowling has just been... I mean, they've given away 500 plus runs in the last 2 games.
Yeah, and I mean, that is extraordinary, and we'll touch a bit more on that end of innings or death bowling in a little while. But to concede that, I mean, psychologically, you're basically taking yourself out of the game at the halfway point. And just observing from back in Australia, watching the games late at night, and particularly the one against Mumbai a couple of times where at the back end of innings, bowls were being dispatched for 4 or 6 and that they would cut to the bench, and Ricky's body language, and at times you could see him gesturing almost to himself about what he wanted them to do, and whether he's saying, well, that's not where we planned, that's not what you said, but the frustrations are starting to really become apparent, and that goes right across the entire franchise then. So it's a hard way back.
When Ishant Sharma had set a square field and pitched it up, and it went for 4 through cover.
Is that the most animated you've ever seen him? I mean, you've played so much with him.
It's certainly not the most animated I've ever seen him, but it's interesting that animation is coming out in such a public manner when he knows cameras will be on him. And sometimes it's too hard to contain your emotion and your frustration, particularly. But no, he's. I think in his coaching career, he's become much more stable than when he was playing or captaining. But I do think, I know the frustrations that he would be going through. I've been there and done that in the IPL in a horror season where you just can't get yourself out of that rut. So that's the challenge for him and his team, and it's got to start tonight.
And if anybody knows how to do it, it is Adam's mate, Ricky Ponting. But Adam, of course, here, three-time World Cup winner, one of 3 Australians to lift the IPL trophy. We have a lot of people who are watching who support teams who've never lifted one, like the Delhi fans, Punjab fans, RCB fans.
Oh, I was hoping you'd stop there.
Yeah, they've never lifted a trophy. I mean, that's got to be pretty special, right?
I just put out that a photograph of 3 of us, and one guy says, "Oh, our captain is back."
So, there you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Telugu favourite.
A Hyderabad supporter, not so much the northern team. But the only concerning thing about this is I keep getting called Adam.
Yeah.
The only people who call me Adam are my wife and my mum when I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So GK, just ease up. Let's relax it down.
I've always called him Gilly all my life.
Now I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
Now I'm good. But to your point about winning an IPL, and obviously, David Warner is one, along with the late Shane and myself as Australians, but then, the various Indian skippers that have held that trophy aloft. It is an extremely fulfilling feeling, as equal to anything that we've achieved in international cricket or domestic cricket, because of so much ingredients go into the pot to get that winning recipe. It really is a challenge, and this is going way back to the original days. So now, whether it's harder or easier, I've got no idea because I'm not playing. But gee, the scrutiny and the microscope on the IPL now is even greater than it was when it burst to life back in 2008.
I think it was the jersey. It's just you changed that jersey from 08 to 09 and that was the magic. That 08 jersey?
Yeah.
That's part of folklore.
It's wonderful for dress-up nights at home. I can tell you that. It comes out. I love not dissimilar to the colour of that jacket there, Harsh, actually. But
Halloween.
Finally, Gilly's Aussie. right? So the sledge will come. He just sledges a little more politely than everybody else. He said that was a terrible jersey, a bit like the jacket you're wearing.
Color was the same, but you know,
colour. No, good jacket.
Yeah. Harsha is from Hyderabad, so I think
Yes.
that our captain comment was written by Harsha himself below his post. Okay, I've been given a little rapid fire by the producers to ask you.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if it's a rapid fire or an audit. I think it seems like an audit. Like, have you actually watched the games? Like you've been claiming to watch them. And it has been written by because they're implying seriousness. It's written, Adam. Here are your questions.
Oh, right,
Adam,
okay. So
I think you've got to say, Adam.
Yeah, I'll be in trouble if I don't get the right answer.
That's right. So here are your questions, Adam. Best batter so far?
I'm going to hard to split. Sanju Samson and Klaasen.
Oh.
Funnily enough, both keeper batsmen. But I'll go with
Just a coincidence.
Samson's.
Just a coincidence.
It's just a coincidence. Yeah, everyone's staying true to their club. I see Simon Dool picking bowlers all the time, so it's good. I like that. Best bowler so far? Most impressive bowler?
Can't go past Bumrah. I want him in any cricket team I ever play him in any format.
Yeah. I got to tell you, this is a really silly, it's a waste of time question. It's a waste of time question in any format, in any tournament, in any realm, sphere or planet. Best captain, most impressive captain for you so far?
Tough one because I haven't seen the entirety of every game to know if there's been big moments, but I like KL Rahul. I like his calmness. So I'm going to say him at the moment from a short sample size.
Okay, great. Your favourite moment so far? Oh, geez, this is a tough one.
There's so many. I've been reflecting as coming over here. Is there a standout? But I can't go. You talk about sticking to your class and your club. Class and stumping. Come on.
Boovie.
Yeah.
Off Boovie.
Yeah.
I mean, don't know what Shikhar was running down the wicket for with him standing up, but it was outside off. He would have had vision of it the whole way, but just nice little moment to reflect on. The keepers go unnoticed too often.
Yeah, good. I like it. I think Deep Das Gupta once said to me, he says, wicket keepers only get noticed when they make mistakes.
Yeah.
He said when a wicketkeeper's had a good game, no one's ever talking about him.
He took a catch once in Adelaide. I might have been on radio at that time. And I remember saying the seagulls here are getting a complex. Because he took off like that.
Yeah.
Nice, I like that. And favourite match?
Favourite, geez. I'll say last night.
Yeah.
I love the statement. I love what that does to the tournament. That, it's Mumbai have done this before, haven't they? Been nowhere at the start, shocking, and then turn it around. But that one last night, and maybe because I landed last night and was driving past the stadium as the fans were coming out, and it was electric, it was buzzing. So you think, right, that's a big statement to the tournament, and the IPL is thriving.
Excellent. Last one, you played the tournament for 6 seasons. As a player, what was your favourite moment? And you already spoke about lifting the trophy, so maybe I'll take that off the table then.
Oh, well, it's down to one moment then. That's a certain revved off spinner that swerved pitch, spun back, deceived Harbhajan Singh and had him caught on the boundary. Yeah. My one and only wicket in
Dharamshala.
Yeah.
He's got probably the best strike rate. Yeah. Among all the bowlers who've taken at least one wicket.
Yeah.
In the IPL, one ball, one wicket.
First ball, right? 1 ball, 1 wicket.
1 ball.
Last ball too.
Last ball. My last involvement in the IPL.
Yeah.
Before tonight. I'm back.
There you go.
Back.
0.1001. Those are very good. Those are very good stats. Okay, well there you go. So that's Gilly. Gilly's of course going to be here with us through the tournament on Cricbuzz Live. So another addition to our star-studded roster. So please welcome him on social media and send your good wishes to him. I'll be putting up a QR code later. You can send in cash gifts as well. We don't mind. We accept them all. 10% for me. Yeah, we're done. That's a good deal. All right. We're going to go tell you. Harsha's going to tell us who won the toss and who's batting.
Because I'm looking in here.
While you're looking at it on the Cricbuzz app.
No. I'm listening to Gilly.
Yeah.
So I actually had to put in my little entry code again because it had gone.
Okay.
But Lucknow win the toss and bat, right? That's what they've been winning matches.
Yeah.
But the news is from Delhi. So even though Lucknow are batting first, I think you must take a look at the Delhi side because they've done something very interesting.
Okay, by that, do you mean changes? Because I think there's...
Every time you know a team is down, two ways of knowing a team is down. One, check the points table, of course.
Yeah.
The second is how many changes are they making in every game.
Okay, Gilly, come on, guess. How many have they made?
Oh, well, I'm trying to think were there any injuries in that belting that they got the other day, but let's go 3.
No, close. Isn't it? It's 4, right? We'll have a look. We'll have a look. Have you got the teams? All right, just put up the team. Let's have a look. There's 4. There's Shea Hope that's come in up top.
4 overseas batters.
Overseas.
4 overseas batters.
Four
So they've lost
So they've got-
Nokia.
They've lost Nokia.
Oh, there you go. I like they've got Jake Fraser McGurk.
Yeah, I do. I'm
That's
very
good.
excited by that.
I've liked the look of him. Do not like where his name is on this team sheet.
No, he's got to be higher than that.
Yeah,
Cool
you
Deep's
probably
in there.
have
That's
same position, but on the left column, perhaps would make sense with him. Great news for Delhi is that Kuldeep Yadav is back in. So that's good news. Both Kuldeep and Mukesh, who were injured, didn't play the last couple of games, so they are both back in.
Yeah.
So their bowling definitely
It's all
looks
Indian.
bolstered.
Yeah.
It's an all-Indian bowling lineup, and that just tells you the and something we talked about in the build-up to Delhi this year. Where is the other Indian batter?
Yeah.
And because they only have 2 Indian batters available till Akshar comes along, now they're suddenly stuck with not having enough batting.
Yeah.
And so they've got to play all 4 overseas batters, and that means your entire bowling lineup has to be Indian.
This bowling lineup, so let's have a look at this because they're bowling first. So this bowling lineup with Kuldeep and Mukesh coming in doesn't look that bad, right? You've got Akshar and Kuldeep as 2 world-class spinners, right? They're playing. Mukesh has been playing India. Khalid's looked good in a couple of games.
Looked
He's
very
played.
good this year.
Ishant has bowled, at latter stages of his career, but he's bowled. There's a few glimpses of brilliance that we've seen from him as well. But the problem is that they don't have a 6th option.
No.
Who's bowling? They don't have a 6th option. So that's...
And that's their bowling 11.
That's their bowling 11, which is going first. So which means they're probably going to get another batter in later.
chase. Yeah. Well, that brings added pressure, doesn't it? And you talk about Ishant and Khalil have been okay at times through, but just in these last 2 games when they've gone the journey.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a psychological affair for those guys to work out. We know they've got the skill, but can they deliver under pressure again by restricting a total? So that first 10 overs, we can break it down even earlier to power play, and then the first 10 over segment are going to be so vitally important to how then the back end goes and whether that mind starts being taken back to, Wankhede Stadium and what they did do there. They delivered. I couldn't believe how many sort of waist-high full tosses that they're just missing their targets by so much. So,
I have a quick question for you as captain.
Yeah.
As captain, are you okay going in with only 5 bowling options?
Well, it depends on who those bowlers are, but I would think what they've just been through the last 2 games, that's a high-risk strategy. But you'd have to bank on that Kuldeep is going to reinforce what you haven't had before in high-quality spin. So, it's a risky play, but they've got to roll the dice, really. We've
I
spoken
just
about that.
wonder if they're thinking, look what all the other teams are doing. They're saying, okay, you scored 200 against us, we'll reply with 210. So let's just pack the batting.
Yeah.
So they've got 7 batters, including Akshar, and they'll probably use Abhishek Porel or someone like that as their impact sub. So they'll add their batting, and they'll just say, 5 bowlers, go and do your stuff. We'll just pack aside with batting and go and get those.
Well, it might be, can't do much worse than what we've done in the last 2.
Yeah.
So that it might be the ploy there. Because if
Unless-
you bring Perel in, that does really load it up to just keep going.
And you're right, and not on this ground, because viewers may look at that and say, wait, they can do worse. Teams have gone for 277. Hyderabad scored that against Mumbai.
True.
But not on this ground. It doesn't look like it'll happen on this ground, purely because of the dimensions. The dimensions of this ground are big. Perhaps playing to Lucknow's strength, they have a lot of spinners. So big ground, 80 meters is the boundary in some pockets, 75s. Probably not going to be that kind of belter which you get, small ground in Hyderabad, small ground in Wankhede. But I'll tell you one thing before we go to the Lucknow team. I'm a little confused. I'll tell you why I'm confused with this batting. They've got the 7-gun batters. They'll probably, get another one. Just where do they play who? A lot of teams get clogged when they have multiple people for the same position, and thus they can't optimize people. We saw that Rajasthan being perfect case in question,
So
didn't play
glad you brought
Padikkal.
that up.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to bat top three.
Yeah.
The same problem with India select their T20 World Cup team. We've got it's like England trying to select a football team with the 12 midfielders and nobody to strike till Kane came along or whatever.
Yeah.
So who's your specialist at 5 and 6?
Yeah.
So are they going to put Fraser McGurk down there at 5 or 6? Who are they going to finish with? Because I don't know if Shea Hope can bat down there. They probably want a little solidity, so they'll play Shea Hope up. And because Gilly is here today, they've got everyone who keeps wickets in that side too.
That's right. They do. There's plenty here.
If Abhishek Porel comes as the impact sub, they'll have 4 keepers in that list.
Delhi are the keepers of keepers.
Yes.
Right? That's what they do.
They're the keepers of many things in Delhi.
That's true, actually. But where would you see this? And Gilly, is that a real problem? Like sometimes, because we saw that in the previous game, right? There was a lot of talk about why Abhishek Porel was sent at 3, and then Rishabh Pant came in at 5 when the chase was over.
Well, you know who may? David Warner may slide down a spot. Jake Fraser McGurk, Prithvi Shaw.
Yeah.
David Warner might be an option of just coming in and sliding down, batting at 3. And when you see, for those that have seen the glimpses of Fraser McGurk, you're going to understand that he is not going to waste a delivery at the top of the order.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you saw his one-day international debut.
I did.
Where he was charging, we were all happy. He hit a big 6 first over, was out first over, and everything in between. But that might be an option for them, because David Warner had tinkered with that with the Australian setup for a little while as they were trying to work out who goes where and so on. That might be something they do.
But then where do they bat Shea Hope? See, here's the thing. When you're looking at that, sometimes you feel things are going wrong, you can overcorrect, like they filled it with batters, but then who bats where? You bat Shea Hope at, let's say, 3. Then where does...
If Warner comes down, then Rishabh goes even further down.
Yeah, and Tristan Stubbs, who got 71 of 25 in the last game, he's not getting enough deliveries. They could perhaps just use Shea Hope as insurance and say, if we go bang in up front and we're really good, we'll put the hitters up, and if 2 wickets fall, then we get you. Ricky is capable of a multitude of plans. So maybe that's it, because...
Just a thought before we move on. Is it possible they'll bowl Ishant Sharma 3 up front in the power play and replace him with a bowling all-rounder like Sumit Kumar and have another bowler coming in? I don't know. Yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
Whatever.
Sorry, you were adding something.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say it feels, as you alluded to, both of you, it feels the movements of a panicked team.
Yeah.
Who are desperate.
Overcorrection, yeah.
But that last point's a good one, and that's what I love about this, the impact player. It creates so many different options. It's been trialled before about having that 12th person that you can sub in eventually, but to have the option of doing it once you know what you're doing is really successful. I think it's making for a very entertaining tournament.
I think it'll be interesting to see the impact subs for Delhi, and then we'll know. And I think Harsha may be right. Ishant could bowl 3 up front and go, because I'll tell you something. With Delhi, I don't think anybody wants to stick around to bowl at the death. So I want to leave.
So have you noticed that their 20th over bowler is not playing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Henrik Nokia. He's bowled 4 times. He's bowled the 20th
Century.
over. 102. I mean, sometimes they tell you, close your mind and dream and imagine, and you won't imagine 102.
Jeez, it's tough. Okay, let's look at the Lucknow team as well, and then we'll come back and look at the subs. The Lucknow team, so obviously a solid team, would not make too many changes, but there you go. Arshad Khan has come in. Whose place has he come in?
I think he's coming for more.
Mayank Yadav, of course, with the side.
Yeah, Mayank Yadav.
So no Mayank Yadav. See, this is the problem. We got so excited. We talked him up, the poor kid, He's got the evil eye, man. I'm telling you, that's what's happened.
Disappointed. I was really looking forward to nestling in and watching that, but it's not. So Arshad Khan is previously Mumbai Indians.
Yeah, he was with Mumbai Indians before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't play much. They had very high expectations from him. He didn't play much. So he'll come in as another quick bowler maybe, and then when they come out to field, they might go back to their left-hand spinner. They might go back to Manimaran
Siddharth, who's bowled opening overs, in fact.
To bowl the opening
overs.
He's
opened the bowling all the time. Show me the Manimaran. But yeah, look at that batting lineup. That batting lineup's gone. That batting lineup's in form. Gilly, you've got, again, I don't know what's happening. Is it because you're here today that there's 2 world-class, left-handed, keeper batters.
Batters there, yeah.
And the guy who's keeping is the third.
Who goes all right, but he stands on the wrong side of the bat. No, that's a solid lineup, isn't it? And they've all. It was interesting. Marcus Stoinis picked up the 50-odd. He was a sort of standout batter in the last victory. In the social medias, which I think they've been very active with their social media, Lucknow, and maybe I'm following it more closely because my good mate Justin's come in and taken the coaching role. But Justin went around the room after the prior victory to the last one, and he sort of went round and said, "Well done,
Gujarat."
And then he said, "Stoin, that match-winning innings is coming." Which is a coach is going to say things like that to give them that bit of, and then it turned up next game. So things are going well. They're a happy bunch, clearly, and as you say, you don't need to make a lot of changes to a winning formula.
Your thoughts on Nicholas Pooran?
Yeah, talent. Where's his best position? It's a bit. You could say that about like what we were just saying about the Delhi batting line. You could say about any batting lineup that turns up, such as the quality that the IPL attracts. I like him at 4. But Stoinis will want to do that now on the back of a 50. But 4-5, certainly no lower than 5. I think even though we're in a new era now where it's more impact than length of innings, there's undeniably, statistically proven. But I think he still needs to face as many balls as he can.
Your biggest hitters come first, Harsha. Is that the rule you go with? Like just play Stoinis at 3 and Pooran at 4?
I've seen with 3 batters this year. I mean, again, spin is striking 183, pace is striking 162. Pooran, Klaasen, Rinku. I think all 3 are batters who can bat one number higher.
Yeah.
But because of their extraordinary skills at one form of batting, they're getting specialized in that form. But you're losing them out in other forms. It's like Australia had this guy who only came in at number 7, but was perfectly capable of batting at 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But because he was so good at 7, he got stuck at 7 all his life.
You got typecast, man. It happens in movies as well. They typecast you. And that's what happens. You'd like to see him one higher because it's also about optimizing the form and the confidence a player has. You have the same skill perhaps season over season, but your form and your confidence changes. And right now, Pooran's coming in on this sort of blind purple patch. He's just been playing well everywhere. You just get him in the middle.
You're right. He looks, as he even walks out to the crease, he feels like he's going to make an impact.
Yeah.
So whether it's a big score, but he's going to make some runs that are going to have an impact. I love the freedom of his swing. His setup is so simple. It's uncomplicated. It truly is just a full, free-flowing motion of a swing. And you very rarely see him sort of swing himself off his feet and lose all the shape of it. It's just such a fluent swing of the bat, be it fast bowling, be it spin bowling. It just looks like a consistent, almost like we talk about golf swings. You're just trying to replicate the same swing over and over again to get maximum effect. I see that in Nicky P at the moment.
Yeah, and I guess, Harsha, we have him, right? We got to ask about Rishabh Pant, another left-handed wicket-keeper. What's going on today? Is this a plant? Is this a plant of some kind?
Should be more of them.
Yeah, there should be more. Right? Far too few. With him, and we've spoken so much about the fact, Harsha, that this story, the human story of him coming into play after what happened to him in those 14 months and then coming back and playing. The first few games, it looked like he was getting into it. And then as soon as I saw him hit that one-handed 6, that's him. He's back.
Yeah.
Rishabh's back.
He looked a bit in his last game like he was playing French cricket. He was not moving his feet, but he's so good at that whip shot. I think the fact that he was playing is a fantastic human story.
Yeah.
Then you've got to say, okay, I've got 14 games.
Yeah.
What is the best way? Now that he's playing, yes, but now that he's playing, the human story is gone. Now it's a cricketer story.
Yeah.
What's the best way we can use him? And they decided to make him captain bat at number 4. Good on them.
Yeah.
Love to get Gilly's views on how he would have done it if...
and how you've seen him go so.
Because once you're back in the side, the emotion of the accident and everything is over now.
Fair.
Now you're playing cricketer.
Yeah, it's beautifully described. The first couple of games, felt emotion everywhere.
Yeah.
It's nothing but support, be it opposition fans, and obviously anyone supporting his team. But I personally wouldn't have given him the captaincy. It's not saying he can't captain or has done a bad job, but I've felt maybe for two reasons. I think they could have not given him that extra responsibility and allowed him just to come back in and deal with all the emotion, the physical challenge for him to get through game after game after game from having 14 games, having had 14 months away with every impact injury that we knew of. Just take a little bit of the load off and allow him to come back in and really try to maximise his impact. Then you say, well, who does captain? And I say they could have incentivised David Warner with the captaincy, because he's hungry for that leadership type role. He's won an IPL out at Hyderabad. He's spoken often about the leadership that was taken away from him, or the opportunity through the stuff that happened a few years back. Yeah. I think that would have really made David Warner be taking him up. And he's an intense cricketer anyway. Yeah. He's training hard as ever and he's having some impact here and there. But I think that might have been a way for him to
Would you have said, ease yourself back in, but with the guarantee that once you ease yourself back in, you are our long-term captain?
To Rishabh?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a lock-in long-term for them, because we know there's going to be an auction after this year. Yeah. So they'll retain him, or whatever the rules end up being about retention. But no, so that's a good point. So how you deliver that in a management style would need to be well thought through, and there's an element of trust there, because whether Warner's there next year or not, who knows? But you don't need to satisfy Davey there. It's up to Davey to prove that he should be in the IPL at the level he wants next year. But I think that would have incentivised him to have a bumper year, because he thrives on that responsibility.
And of course, there's the big elephant in the room of the World Cup selection, right? With keeper batters, there's plenty going around. And Rishabh, of course, will want to throw his hat in the ring. And as far as keeper batters are concerned, there's a lot of them doing really well. So, I mean, let's just ask you, that's my last question of you today. I've really asked you a lot of keeper batter questions, right? I've typecasted you today. But the last one would be, who's the front runner for you right now? Because India's going to take two. Yeah. But who would be your front runner right now?
I expect Rishabh Pant to definitely be there. And I would take Sanju Samson as well. Kishan's pushing a very good case. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. But, I think Rishabh Pant is, if he's not locked in, he should be locked in. I think once this tournament's through, and he'll have found out. And unless there's something untoward that turns up with his body that even he wasn't expecting. But I would think he'll be there.
Okay, it's a tough one. I like how, did you hear how Simon and Joy have broken it down? They've broken it down into, there has to be one from the top three and one from 4, 5, 6. Right, so they've broken it down into two different groups.
Now the game started, but what he says makes sense. In case Jaiswal is not in form, you want Kohli to open the batting, then Samson can come in at number 3, so that gives you a keeper in the top 3. Pant can bat 4, 5, 6 anywhere. So
So they'll have to think this through, because you know that all the big teams in the world, they're really thinking their T20 formulas through, and they're very different from what they were even in the last World Cup. Things are changing pretty quickly. All right, I'll tell you what doesn't change ever is the difficulty level of the Joy Factor question. It's always very difficult. Here it is. Let's have a look at what he sent. Bring it. Who were the two batters at the crease when the first ever 10-wicket win was recorded in the Indian T20 League? He's phoned this one in, hasn't he?
He's dropped his standards dramatically.
My God, Gilly, I'm so sorry you had to see this.
First ever 10-wicket victory
in the IPL.
In the IPL. Yeah. Who were the batters at the crease?
Yeah, don't give the answer yet, because I think you might know the answer, but
You know, I'll tell you exactly. People know this now. People know this. You ever watch Cricbuzz live? This obviously has something to do with Gilly, right? Because that's what Joy does. He puts questions that are contextual. Something could be there.
The answer could be someone else with the first name Adam.
Ooh.
It's context. Was there any other Adam who played the game? The only
we'll
other
figure it
Adam
out
that comes to mind
in a second. But let's quickly get to the guessing game, because do we have the chart? Do we have
go away. No, we don't have time to put the charts up. Sorry, the game's already started. No charts. Listen, don't want to see the charts.
You know, it's not a sound thing. It's a visual. So they put it anyway. You can keep speaking over it.
Right.
Bring it. Come on. Where is it?
You'll know why.
So get the guesses. Get your guesses in. Virendra Sehwag is leading right now.
You're below Sayamik here. In the anchors list, you're number 2.
0.76. I'll get one right today and I go up. Of course, Gilly can get one right today and go straight to the top, because he'll get 50%.
In the front.
Okay. Gilly, you can go first. The guest?
So it's the first innings score.
First inning score, yes. Come on.
155.
155, low bowling it. Nice, I like it. I'm going with 174.
185.
Ooh, 85. Ooh, left the 160s completely.
So that pre-show meeting where you were telling me how bad the wicket is at Lucknow and it's slow and no high scores. So that was all part of the strategy, was it, Chance?
To get you to go
to get me to go a low ball?
This is just to tell you on your first date, don't trust any of us.
Right, okay.
That's the lesson here. Or he knows something about 80-meter boundaries and he's going, you're both foolish. It's going to be 150, 160.
No, just before coming in, he was on the phone. I think he was talking to Justin Langer.
Oh, there you go. He knows. He knows the conditions. Got an inside man. All right, we're going to go outside now. And we're going to come back in with Cricbuzz Combox. That's going to be at the 10 over mark. So do join us then for a little update of how Lucknow is doing. They are batting first in this game against Delhi. A big thank you to Adam Gilchrist and Harsha Bhogle. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I'm Gaurav Kapur and you were watching Cricbuzz Live. Thank you. We'll see you in a bit.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
Hyderabad 50 एक्सप्रेस পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন। कृपया ध्यान दें